All right, so now we're going to do this problem, which is number 7 on the test 2 practice test. And so it's 25 March. Of course, these are all 1981. You observe and reduce 3 stars, and here's the data, okay? And this data is ready to be plotted, okay? So really, for the Coast Guard exam, you're going to have to reduce the 3 lines and then plot them. But right now, we're focusing on the skill of a 3-star fix plot. So you're going to use this data here while steering on a course of 291 at a speed of 16 knots. Okay, that's important because we're going to have to advance Peacock and Altair to the time of Spica. Okay, so 0520 to 550 and 0535 to 0550. All right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to, plot the APs of the 3 stars. Okay, so that is going to be the assumed latitude and assumed longitude. They're all 28 south. I got to be careful because I'm in south latitudes. Okay, so I got to make sure my numbers are getting bigger going down, going south. And so I'm going to do that. And then 2, I'm not going to plot the lines right away. I'm going to advance the APs for Peacock and Altair to the time of Spica. Okay, so once the APs are advanced, then I can just go ahead and plot my 3 stars, and I'll have my fix. So then plot the 3 stars, plot their LOPs, plot the LOPs for the 3 stars for a fix. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So, all right, so we're making 16 knots. So let me just figure out my advance first. I'm going to advance Peacock from 520 to 550. All right, so that is 30 minutes. Okay, so 0550, okay, minus 0520, that's 30 minutes. Now, 30 minutes is, I'm going to use a 6-minute rule. Okay, because for these short little advances, the 6-minute rule works really good. 6, so I got 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. That's the 6-minute rule times 5. So my 6-minute rule says I'm making 16 knots. I move the decimal over. That gives me 1.6. So it's going to be 1.6 times 5 times 5. So that is 5, and 0.6 is going to be 3. So that's 8. That should be 8 minutes. Okay. So my advance is going to be, not 8 minutes, 8 nautical miles. All right. But if, if that was a little bit too much for you, you can do rate times time equals distance. But basically 1.6 times 5 equals 8. Okay. Great. All right. Great. So that's that one. Now this one is 0550 to 0535. So that's 15 minutes. Well, 15 minutes is the 6-minute rule, 6, 12. So that's 2 6s. And then I've got 3 minutes left over, so that's 2.5 times the 6-minute rule. So that means I'm going to go 1.6 times 2.5, okay? And when I do 1.6 times 2.5, 1.6 times 2.5, that gives me 4 nautical miles. Okay, so I'm going to have to advance the AP for Peacock 8 miles. I'm going to have to advance the AP for Altair 4 miles. And, of course, I'm not going to advance Spica because I'm advancing them to that time. Okay. So now we're ready to plot. All right, so for our plot, we're going to need our plotting sheet. So I happen to have that right here. Okay, great. So now, everybody's going to be on 28, and it looks like our longitudes are 92, 93, 93, and it's east. So let's go ahead. We're going to make this, I guess I'm going to make this 92 east. I'll make this 93 east. And that will make this 94 east. Remember, east is going that way. And then if I'm going south, if this is 28 south, then this will be 29 south. Excuse me, this will be 27 south. I almost messed that up. This is 28 south, and this will be 29 south. Okay, so let's get to our first AP. So our first AP, well, they're all going to be 28, so that's easy. So they're all going to be on this line right here. Okay, and let's see, 92, 41.5. That's going to be Peacock. So here's 92. So 41.5. Okay, so I'll measure here 41.5. All right, so I go like this. 30, 35, 40, 41.5 right there. Okay, great. So here is going to be the AP for Peacock. Okay, so I'm just going to make a little tick mark right there. Okay, that's AP Peacock. All right, great. So what is the AP going to be for Altair? That's 9321.8. So 93, so I got to get over here, 93, and that's 30, 25, 20, 20.8 I think it was, which is almost 21. Let me just check and make sure that was right. 90, oh, it's 21.8. So here we go, 21.8, which is almost 22. That's it, good there. So that go over here, and I will now plot that AP. So I'm going to go like this and like that, and that is the AP for Altair. And now I'm going to plot the AP for Spica. So Spica is 9311.5. So I'll come up here, okay, and here is 93, and there's 11, 10, 11, so that's between 11 and 12, which looks about right there. Great. So I'll come down here, and I'll put that there, and put that there. Okay, great. So this is the AP for Spica. Okay, great. Now what I'm going to do is I got to advance this AP for Peacock 8 miles and the AP for Altair 4 miles, and my course is 291. Okay, so 8 miles and 2 miles on 291. All right, great. So here we go. All right. So here is 291. All right. All right, we got that. That's about 291 right there. All right. Actually, I'm going to use this. Okay, because we can see all this good stuff here. Okay, so here's this. And I'm going to advance that 291. All right, so I'm going to get everything together so I don't have to move my triangle. All right. And that's 291 right about there. Okay, I got that on the longitude line, and I got that 291 on the longitude line. So that's 291, and I don't have to go very far, okay, because I'm only going to advance this about 8 miles, but this is the advance. Okay, great. So that's that direction. Now now I have to get my line ready for the advance for Altair, which is going to be 4 miles. So I can put this over here. I can slide. Oh, geez, did I just screw that up? No, it still looks good. I didn't. Okay. Great, and then I'm going to advance this up about 4 miles so I can make a slightly shorter line. Great. All right, so I'm going to advance that AP 8 miles, so I'll go over here, okay, and that is 8 miles is right there. So I go like this, and I go like that. Okay, that's the AP. Okay, that's where I'm going to plot my my AP. That's where I'm going to start plotting my LOP for Peacock. And then this one over here, I think I only had to advance 4 miles. So I'll go here and I'll get myself 4 miles. Okay, very nice and precise. All right, and I go like this. I put that there, and that's 4 miles there. Okay, great. So that's it. Okay, so I can get rid of some of that extra business right there. Now, because I've advanced the APs, I can just go ahead and plot 3 stars, and hopefully I'm going to get a fix. So let's do that. Okay, so Peacock. The azimuth is 146.6, so, and it's basically 30 towards. Okay, so 146.6, which is basically 147, but 146 and 30 towards. So that's going to be something down like this. So let me get my 146. All right, so 146.6 is basically 146.5. That's about it right there. All right, so let me slide this over here. Okay, and I get that lined up there. And let me just slide that down a touch. Okay, great. All right, so And oh, I forgot what the number was. Let me see if I can peel this back. 29 points. All right, so 30 towards. Okay, so what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to plot my ZN. What I'm going to do is I'm going to measure 30 miles. 29.96, great. And now I'm going to plot that distance. Okay, and I'll make a little tick mark right there. Okay, great. Okay, now I'm going to swap these two. Okay. All right, there. Okay, so hold on a second. I got to switch tools here. Okay, so off camera, I just I brought this tool from that side over to this side because I want you to be able to see what's going on here. So there was my 30 miles. All right, and I made my little stab mark in the chart right there. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my triangle and I'm going to put it at 90 degrees. Okay, this 90, not the long edge, but the 90-degree angle. And I'm going to slide that up until this corner just covers that little dot, okay? And there it is. And now I'll take this one, I'll put it along that axis, and that is my LOP, okay? So this is going to be, what was it, Peacock? Yeah, Peacock. And that's the Peacock line advanced to 0550. Okay, great. Now I got to plot Altair. Altair is basically 25 away at 40.5. So 40.5 and then 25 away. So, all right. So I got to find the Peacock AP. There it is. So 40.5. All right. Let's get that. So let me just write that because I keep forgetting what the numbers are. Let's see here. So that is ZN is 40.5 and the intercept is 25 away. Okay, great. All right. So let's go here. I put my pencil down there. 40.5. So that is basically halfway between 40 and 41. And I get that about right there. That looks pretty good. And I'm 25 away. So I'm going to measure 25 miles now. So I go 25, and I'm going to touch the AP, and I'm going to make my little stabby mark right there. Okay, great. All right. Now, it's better to have two triangles, and I made that same mistake again, but here we go. I can see my little tick mark right there. So I put my triangle to just cover that tick mark. There it is. And now I can put this over here, and now I draw my second line. Okay, and then this is going to be, what is the name of this body? Altair. Okay, so it looks like my fix is probably going to be somewhere around here, but let me get my third star here. My third star is going to be 268. That's my azimuth. And my intercept is going to be 13.6. And that's towards. So 268 is going to be in that direction, and towards is going to be in that direction. Okay, great. So let's see, 268. That's almost 270. All right. So I'll slide this up here a little bit so you can see. But basically, all right. So 268 is there, and that's there. 268 is just about that. That's good. All right. And now let's see what we're going to do here. There's my AP. My AP is right there. Okay, great. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to switch these tools. Obviously I can learn a little bit. I'd rather have the triangle at the end. So that's 268, and I am 13.6 towards. So I'm going to measure 13. So that from there, if I make that a 0, that's 5, 10, 11, 12, 13.6, almost 14. There it is right there. And I put that there, and I make my little stabby right there. Okay. And now I'll take my triangle. I'll get it, take advantage of that 90 degree. I'll just cover that thing. And when I swoop around here, then that little dot, that little hole comes out, and whammo, there's my fix right there. Okay. And I have a teeny tiny itty bitty little baby triangle, but that was, what was that? Spica. Okay. All right. And now I get that. I'm feeling pretty good about that because they all intersected there. So what's the question? What's the latitude and the longitude? Well, let's get the latitude here. Okay. So I put my pencil on the point. And I slide my triangle up against there, and I make sure it's all square. And it looks like my latitude is. So this is 28 south, 29 south, so getting bigger. So that's 5, 10, 15. So that looks 15, 16, like between 16 and 17. So 28, 17 south. Let's see. Yeah. So there's a 28, 16. That looks pretty good. And then let's do our longitude. So our longitude here, I bring that down. Remember, this is 93. That's 92. So I bring that down. I make that square. And I bring that down, and it looks to me like I'm going to have a longitude of 30, 40, 50, 55, 56, 57. Yep, and that's it. Great. So the answer is A, and that's how you do that problem. Okay.